What's up, Eagles? It's Mr. P. I'm here to teach lesson 1-11, points, line segments, lines, and rays. One of my more favorite things to work with. Okay? So let's talk about that. If you know what I am talking about, pat yourself on the back. Okay, if you don't, that's okay. We're going to get through this together. I want to go over this terminology and what it means when it says these names and what you're supposed to be drawing and what you're doing, okay? So, first off, a point. A point is just that. It's a dot. It's a point. That's all it is. And then a line, when we draw a line, it is what you're thinking of, a straight line, and then an arrow on this side going this way, and an arrow on this side going that way. Lines never end. They continue forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. A line segment is a point within a line, and we denote that by putting 2 points on this part, this segment of this line. And then we have a ray. And no, it's not a young man that you know named Ray. It is a point with a line only going one way. A ray only goes one way. Okay, so now that we know that, I'm going to go ahead and erase this little cheat sheet. I wanted to talk about it, walk through it a little bit, so we kind of have it in our brains what we're dealing with today. Okay, open your math journals to page 27. That's where I'm getting this information. That's what we're working with today. Our instructions say, use a straight edge to draw the following. Number 1, there's 2 parts, A and B. A says draw and label line segment RT. So we know that we have to draw something. We know we have to use a straight edge. Mr. P is going to use his eraser for his straight edge. So first of all, I would like you to do this. Put your straight thing down and draw that. That's it. Now, to make a segment, remember a segment has a point here and a point here, and they're labeled. So now we got to turn this into a line segment. So we're going to put our point and our point, and it says draw and label line segment RT. So it needs to be R is on the left and T is on the right. We drew line segment RT. We labeled line segment RT. Part B says, what is another name for line segment RT? And you're looking at me going, Mr. B says name for RT and it's got that funny line. When you see it written like this, it's going to have a little dot, a little line, a little dot, and then RT. That means that's how we read it. Line segment, because we know that is a line segment, RT. What's another name for it? Can you think of one? Okay, you're right. It is part B's answer. So this is A. Part B's answer on the little line. You need to draw your little line segment. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be TR. You just flip the letters. That's it. If it were numbers, if this was line segment 1, 2, then it would be 2, 1. Or if it was line segment triangle square, it would be square triangle, whatever your names are. Okay? That is number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 on page 27, math journal. It says A, we have another A, and we have another B. It says draw and label line BN. That's our first part. So let's draw that. I'm going to use my straight edge here. There we go. And it's a line, so it has 2 arrows. That's right. So we need to draw and label line BN. So we're going to put our arrows. And this is line B, N. Always use capital letters when you're dealing with your points, line segments, lines, and rays. It's easier to read. Okay, second part of A says draw and label a point T on it. T, the letter T as in tall. So we can pick anywhere. I'm going to go right in the middle. So we're going to put our point. Remember, it's just the dot. Okay, point T. That's it. Part B states, what are two other names for line BN? What can it be? Well, we know it can be line NB, right? What's another name? Could it be line BTN? Of course it can. There you go. There's number 2. Go ahead and get that copy down if you haven't already. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. All right, moving on. If I'm going too fast in the video, remember you can always pause and go back and then pause for the part that you need. Number 3 says draw and label ray SL. Remember, a ray is just the point with the arrow line going one way, okay? So, but we've got to use our straight edge. Okay, it says draw and label ray SL. Here is my ray, and then it's SL. Okay. Now, it says draw and label point R on it. Okay. Easy. I'm going to have a little bit of fun, and I'm going to put mine a little further to the right. And it needs to be point R. A little R right there. Okay. We've drawn ray SL. We've put point R on it. And then part B says, what is another name for ray SL? Well, couldn't that be ray LS? Right? Mr. P, why did you leave so much space? There's a part C to number 3. Number 3's part C. Says, under ray SL, draw and label ray XM so it is parallel to ray SL. What does parallel mean? Does parallel mean that they intersect here? Or does it mean that they go like this, they go straight, and they will never cross? They are together. Those lines will never intersect ever, ever. Yeah. It means that they're never going to intersect ever, ever. So that means we have to draw ray XM underneath SL. So here's my straight edge. There's my straight edge. I'm going to make it into a ray like that. I want to label it XM, XM. Have I completed problem 3? Yes, I have. All right. That is our problem number 4. Let's move on. Number 4 states, A, using points A, B, C, D, create a shape that has 2 pairs of parallel line segments. So it has point A, point B, point C, point D. I'm not the best drawer. I'm not as accurate as the book is, but we get the point. So we must draw a shape. And what did we learn about parallel lines? Lines that will never intersect. They go on forever, right? So what could we do? Okay, let's go. A, C, and B, D. Are those lines parallel? They're not going to cross. What's another one that we could do? AB, okay, I like AB. So what would be parallel to AB? CD, that's right, CD. Okay, I think we've got it. These two are parallel, and these two are parallel. And then problem B says, name the parallel line segments. So part B, this is A. Part B, we've got a couple lines. Okay, so what's one parallel line? AB, okay, so AB, comma, we can say CD or DC, however you want to do it, DC. DC is in your book. AD is another one. AD, comma, and the last one, BC. BC. That's all there is to points, lines, segments, and rays, guys. That was our lesson today. I want to make sure that we're not doing something else crazy in this lesson. We're not. I want you guys to go ahead and do math boxes on page 28 on your next page. Number 1 is an estimating word problem. Remember to underline your important information. Number 2, draw and label line QR and draw point S on it. Remember, lines, 2 arrows, segments are as a dot and a dot. A point is just a dot. And a ray is the dot with the arrow on the end. Okay, number 3, write this number in standard form. If it says 8 hundredths, okay, plus 4 ones, how would I do that? 800 and what? 804, so it would be 804 because they didn't give us tens, right? So that's how you're going to do problem 3, A, B, C, and D. And then number 4, name as many rays as you can in the figure below. See how many you can find. Number 5, explain how you used your estimate to see if your answer to problem 1 was reasonable. Remember how we check our estimates? If they're close, they're usually right. But if you estimate something is going to be 400 and your actual answer is only 150, does that make sense? No, you have too many. Or if you estimated 400 and your answer was 1,000, well, you're a lot off, okay? Remember to round to your closest numbers, the easier ones to work with. All right, guys, I will see you again soon. I will be doing more math with you later. I can't wait to see you guys again. Have a good one.